everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Foster Talks. And today I'm here to have a conversation with Ratna Jyoti, who we address as RJ. Welcome,
Fine.
RJ, to Foster Talks. How have you been? How's your day been?
Thank you very much, and grateful to you for having me here.
Our pleasure. So we are here today to talk about your debut novel, Unbound Love. But before we dive into the novel and the story, the characters, your inspiration and all of that, I would want to understand you as a person and your writing journey, basically. A little bit about that before we dive into the book. So my first question to you is, what actually inspired you to become a writer?
Well, in everyone's deep inside, I had a deep desire to write, and I've been writing during my school and college days. But to put it in a book form is not easy, and that was my dream.
Okay.
And once I went to the substantive writing of Amitabh Ghosh,
Yeah.
maybe I felt I was deeply inspired, awe-inspired by him.
Whoa, true. Yeah. Who is not? That is great. So, what was your earlier writing processes like? Like, did you used to always have a note with you where you used to keep writing stuff? Did you write poetry? Like, before you actually started off with the book, what was your journey like?
Writing in school and college magazines and stories and poetry, yes. That's been my areas of interest. And I've been participating, in UK competitions, poetry society competitions. Frankly speaking, I haven't made any mark, but I've been contributing. That's true.
Okay.
That's true.
So from there, when you decided, what was that point that you finally decided, no, I've been writing for smaller journals or for magazines, for competitions for a very long while. Now I want my own book. What was the turning point for you?
Turning point maybe was early 2000s. And I felt I could write a story.
Okay.
Not just any story,
Okay.
maybe unique story, against a backdrop where I grew up
Okay.
in the Himalayan reaches
Yes.
and the unexplored land of Arunachal,
Yeah.
the great land of Arunachal.
Yeah.
And people don't know much about that.
Yeah, of course.
But this is, a pristine ambience. So I thought, why not write my story
Okay.
against the backdrop therein
Okay.
and try to intertwine the story so that people would go through and I won't be tired of reading anything.
Okay. So are there any personal inspirations for the characters, for the instances?
Very much so. My father was one.
Okay.
He was a freedom fighter.
Wow.
And he led a righteous life.
Yeah.
He inspired me, of course.
Wow.
And he's no more, but there is a shadow of him in my writing. And, and the family, the unit family that grew up in Arunachal Pradesh, my family. The stories, how you grew up against the backdrop of the threatening Chinese
Oh, okay.
at the borders. And if you grow up in Arunachal, you know that Dushman against number one is not Pakistan, it's China.
Yeah.
So rest of the country, it is Pakistan, hamara Dushman hai.
Yeah.
Lekin in Arunachal, it is China.
Yeah.
They could come any day.
Yeah.
They have done so once. So against that backdrop, the growth of the family, the sojourn of the family, and the protagonist, and India lives in multiplicity, in plurality, and that cultural, so to say, ambience, varied cultural ambience of Arunachal, drove me simply.
Interesting. So while I was reading the book also, honestly, I've never been to any part of the Northeast. So Arunachal also, I just know the place. Tawang was very popular in Kerala, where I'm from, because one movie had showcased that particular place. So once a movie come out, all of us want to go there. Like
Exactly.
one Hindi movie, Bollywood movie come out, all of us want to go to Spain. So Tawang was one place I was like, I've Googled about, I've researched a little bit about, but other than that, related to Arunachal Pradesh, to be very honest, I didn't have an idea. So while reading the book, I could get those picturesque explanations. I could really get to see some of the places that you are describing in the book. I could really imagine these places like really so beautifully. So the house that you're talking about, the schools that you're mentioning, the college, so are these all real places?
Yes, very much so. Very much so.
Interesting. Okay.
And actually, Tawang movie has inspired you, as you said. Tawang is one of the oldest settlements in India.
Yeah.
It was set up in 1680. Oldest monastery in India.
Yeah.
The largest monastery in India.
Yeah.
And how many of the Indians know that there have been 14 Dalai Lamas?
Yeah.
Fifth Dalai Lama was an Indian.
Yeah.
He was born in Urgaling monastery, very near Tawang. We don't know.
Yeah.
But this is a fact.
Yeah.
It should make us proud. And
true.
Buddhism, you see, it is stretch of land. Nepal, then you got Sikkim, then Bhutan, then the Western Arunachal. They are in a sequence.
Yeah.
And Buddhism has been the dominant force therein, especially
Very
Tibetan Buddhism. So they are pierced in the spirit of Buddhism, Vajrayana Buddhism.
Yeah.
So that was the backdrop, that was the location of my story, where it began. And in the eastern side of Arunachal, how many of us know Lord Parshuram? We've heard of his name in the Indian mythology as one of the reincarnation of the Supreme God.
Vishnu,
It is in Markandeya Puran, it is said he was a matricide. He had killed his mother, around his father. But his mother was granted life back again. But the eggs with which he had killed his mother, that got stuck to his hand. And he couldn't get rid of that.
Okay.
So he went on taking dip everywhere until he came to a place where it is said in the legends, the gods used to take bath here. That was a divine pool called the Brahma Kund.
Okay, yeah.
He took a dip, bath therein, and lo and behold, the eggs, he got rid of the eggs. That is called the Parshuram Kund.
Yeah.
How many of Indians know that Parshuram Kund is located in Arunachal?
I know the place, but I actually never knew that it was in Arunachal.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
We talk of mythology, we talk of Lord Parshuram.
Yeah.
Indians don't know that Parshuram Kund is located in Arunachal Pradesh. So the history is from the western Arunachal in Tawang to the ends and eastern Arunachal at Parshuram Kund, and middle place called Malinithan, where a 13th century kingdom was discovered. That is the place of another event I'm not going to disclose. Once you go through, you will know.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. So yeah, I mean, that is true. I think this entire intention that you wanted to showcase, not just tell a story, but also get people to know Arunachal. So that was a huge intention, but that's clearly evident because I've read more than half of the book and I really have a better understanding of Arunachal now, to be very honest. But there was something that always intrigued me. So in the book also, so while you were talking about Hinduism, you were talking also about Buddhism. There was a lot being talked about the Christian monasteries, the convent schools and all of that. So how was it exactly there? So in the book, what I've understood is it's a lot more secular. So people in the characters in the book also, it was not like they were just sticking to one religion. It was more about the learnings. It was more about the experiences. So what exactly goes on there?
That's what India is all about.
Yeah.
Buddhism has been the greatest force in recorded history in India. Lord Buddha was one who started the Sangha, the wandering monks. He used to give them yellow robes, the bottom in the rung of hierarchy. And Lord Buddha has been the dominant force in Indian thoughts and ethos from last 2,500 years. And he is remembered not as a founder of Buddhism, but as one of the ninth incarnation of Supreme God in Hinduism. He is known as a reformer. And in those parts of the India, Nepal, Sikkim, Bhutan, and then Western Arunachal, Buddhism has a great influence till today. So, and I was educated in a Christian convent for a short period of time, but biblical descriptions and references has always inspired me. And being a Sanatan Dharmi, being a Hindu myself, so I've interwoven everything therein.
Exactly, yeah.
And that's what India is all about.
Yes, very true. That was something very interesting and at the same time made me very curious in the book.
And of course the tribal culture. Tribal culture is unique.
Exactly.
Unique tribal culture.
Yes.
They are Buddhists, some are Christians, but their cultural ethos is a bit different.
Interesting. I mean, there was actually a lot of such such very new, I would say, at the
Exactly.
same time. So I couldn't just read this book as a novel or a fiction or just taking it in terms of consuming a story. It was more like there was a lot of things for me to explore and understand also.
And one aspect is modern day India and modern day Indians.
Yeah.
There is a lot of sarcasm therein.
Yeah.
And how Indians we perceive ourselves in the late 90s and 2000.
True.
And so I don't want to disclose. You go through the book, you know that we Indians are a bundle of everything.
Yeah, we are indeed.
Yeah, we don't know what we are. And this is elucidated herein.
Yeah.
So my work is basically a work of literary fiction, but intertwined and interwoven with a story that brings all sides of us or different sides of us. And you cannot stereotype anything here in the book.
Yeah, very true. So coming to, just because you spoke about your writing style and it being a literary fiction, I've told this to you personally also. While I was reading the book, it really reminded me of the times when I was reading God of Small Things, which is an amazing example to actually for me to be able to compare with. I'm talking about the writing style, a good, nice literary fiction. So how did you kind of like zero down on a particular writing style? Is this the writing style you've always been writing, or is it an inspiration that you have?
I thought my writing style has to be different. It has to be substantive, like that of Amitabh Ghosh, my dream writer. And God of Small Things, as you said, because you probably being a Malayali, you are able to relate more to the background.
That's why I could relate that.
Being a Bengali myself, writing Amitabh Ghosh, maybe because of the social setup and being the victim of partition. This has an everlasting impact on the history of Bengali people in India, of different cascading generations. So, but yes, her writing was good. A substantive writing of Amitabh Ghosh has been my dream.
Oh, nice. I think this is like a suggestion also. People whoever like the writing styles of Amitabh Ghosh, Arundhati Roy, these people should actually read the book, because it's something that we can recommend to people.
I wish everyone reads the book.
That is true.
Making my book a marketable one.
It is indeed, definitely.
But it's not just a story. We've been writing on metropolis, city stories. This is no city story. This is a story of a unique family, of a unique man, unique protagonist in a unique land. We can call it like that in antique land. It's not antique. It's a unique land.
It is ideally,
so, and so pristine, and so, what should I say, so different. And there's a lot of surrealism in the book.
Yeah, it does, yes, true.
So, I cannot beat my own drum. It is for others to say. But someone said that this...
As a reader, I can comment now.
Someone said it transcends the trappings and moorings of time, which are the hallmark of, so to say, classic. So, many people have said something. So, let people read and decide.
Yeah, very true. That is true. That's true also. So, coming back to the book and the characters in the book, how did you develop the main character, Gautam, the protagonist in the book?
That is a shadow of my, of course, a shadow, but it's a character of fiction. Early part of the life is what I spent in there, but later part is a different issue. The story had to proceed with the juxtaposition of metropolis and mainland India. So these are all fiction. But it started with experience of me, my sister, my family, my father, who was a victim of partition. He was a freedom fighter. And but he was a righteous man. He never lied in his life. And he suffered. So, but then he was a righteous man. So he's there. Even there is an incident. After retirement, he settled in a place in Assam. And the day Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi was attacked in Sri Lanka from behind, my father suffered a stroke. He saw in the television, he's being a freedom fighter. His patience gone. He's been talking to my mother, how could they do this to him, being our Prime Minister? And he suffered a stroke. In actuality.
Wow, okay.
So, these are all there in the book. So, this is a tribute to him also. tribute to him. He's no longer there. But so these are the ingredients. You make a story. And there is a storyline that proceeds along. And Lord Buddha has been the dominant, what should I say, influence in Indian ethos. But
Very much.
he too was a man who had his own frailties. It is said he went to locate his family 10 years after he had got enlightenment. His wife simply refused to meet him, saying, "You had deserted us."
Yeah.
The tragedy was with his son.
Yeah.
People used to tell him, "You see, he's your father, the enlightened one is your father." The son, the 10-year-old son, refused to believe, saying, "He's my father?
Yeah.
He has never held me in his arms, never kissed me." But this is a tragedy in Buddha's life also. Gautama, the original Gautama, and this Gautama, he too faces a similar incident in his life. He gets his son, but he can't reveal himself who he is. So I've tried to draw analog, saying that this Gautama and that Gautama, the original Gautama, that they too have certain similarities in certain phases of their life.
Wow.
So these are analogs I've tried to draw.
Subtle but strong. Nice way of putting that. So how has it been your experience? Because drawing out a lot of your personal experiences, now trying to write it down at the same time. Now it's not just writing in your journal. You're literally writing a book which hopefully will be read by a lot of people, Indians and otherwise. So how has that experience of this entire journey of getting the book out, publishing it, now people have started, I might be the first reader other than your publishing team, but then how has that experience been for you?
And now it is yet to come. People will read and react. I wish they read it, that's all.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of things. In 320 pages, probably I put in as much information as I could. And so it is multi-genre.
Yeah. It is indeed, yeah.
Diverse. So I wish people read it and then form an opinion. That would be my idea, my appeal to them.
That's true. Yeah, because the book has there's love, there's loss, there's redemption, there's a lot of themes that is actually revolving in and around the book. That's
what human life is.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's why it's very, I don't even know if it's a word, connectable to people. Like I don't even literally know it's a name, but it is indeed. You can connect with the book because you've not left things out. Every thought process, the feelings, the different themes that we can cover around, it's all there, very raw, and it's literally there in the book, which is beautifully done.
When I read the last pages, I still weep.
I haven't reached there yet.
No, why? Because the father is unable to tell his son that I'm your father. The son doesn't want to believe that he is his father, but they are son and father. So this is the greatest human tragedy.
Yeah.
A son unable to identify himself to the son, a father and
father, yeah.
So the last few pages, these move me.
Hopefully, I want to reach there soon. Let's hope that. What is your future in the writing space going to be looking?
Well, that people will decide.
Okay.
But I have a certain plan actually. Why I tell you? You know cricket?
Yeah.
Have you heard anything of polo?
Yeah.
What's that?
Sport,
yes.
Yeah.
Where did it originate?
I have no idea.
First official polo was played in a place where I belong to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's a place called Silchar in Assam.
Yeah.
First official polo club in 1859 was formed by a British Army officer and tea planters.
Oh, okay.
The second, this is extinct now, but the second polo club formed in 1862 at Calcutta still survives.
Okay.
So I have a desire, and the rules of polo were framed in March 1863, handwritten rules in the bungalow of the deputy commissioner then. His name was, the man who was instrumental in formation of polo was Lieutenant John Shearer, who retired in 1887 from Calcutta, from St. Williams as a Major General. He was hailed as the father of English polo, and he, under the tutelage of then Deputy Commissioner, I keep forgetting his name, Edward something. His brother was a major in Bengal. They have formed a team. So polo, Silchar makes unique.
Yeah.
And what Lords holds to cricket,
Okay.
Silchar holds to polo.
Wow. Okay.
Formation of club, officially being played there, and the rules of the game being laid out, handwritten rules. So I have a desire, if I could get enough material, but materials aren't available because we are the worst race so far as the documentation was concerned.
Okay.
If I could lay my hands upon, maybe I could do something to bring this kind of things,
Oh, that's also going to be really unique then.
If I could,
Oh,
if
that's
only
really
I could.
brilliant. I hope that the journey with Unbound Love really somehow opened doors for you to be able to get your hands on a lot more
And
information.
I have a desire of writing an epic in verse.
Okay.
Maybe the work is underway.
Uh-huh.
It depends on if people like this will come up. If people say no, you're not good in writing, maybe.
Oh, you are a good writer. Oh, that is brilliant. But I really wish you all the very best, not just with Unbound Love. It's just yet to hit the market. I'm sure it's really going to do beautiful. Because first and foremost, amazingly beautiful book cover. People would want to take out and look because the book cover is so beautifully done. So wishing you all the very best.
Thank
in
you
your
so very
journey
much.
as a
Thank you so
writer.
very much. Because this is basically literary fiction.
Yes.
And I was afraid people don't accept overdose of literary content. But if I've been able to make a harmonious balance between storyline and heavy stuff, so maybe I'm on the path to success. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
This is my personal review.
People
for
are so
who-
mercurial; they have to like it.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I agree.
However
That's
strongly-
what I'm telling. It's just my personal review, but I am not a literary fiction reader. But then I really enjoyed the book because
That's great.
in general, literary fiction has this, like we perceive it to be really slow, but then this was not. It was fast-paced. At the same time, it was a literary fiction. So I enjoyed it. I hope other readers do too. And
So kind of you for your words.
wishing you all the best, RJ.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here in Faster Talks today, and wishing you all the success with this book and good luck in the future.
Thank you, Naghma. Thank you very much.
Thank you.